Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.
Good evening, Maple Leaf fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Leafs Unfiltered post-game. It's been far too long since we've done one of these shows, so happy to be back tonight. Caroline,
Yes.
What a finish. What a finish.
I think my heart's still pounding from that,
Right?
that OT, those last couple minutes. Holy
Unreal.
smokes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we deserved it, but we'll take it.
No, we definitely did not.
No.
Definitely
Yeah.
did not deserve it. That was like probably some of the worst, I don't know, 50 minutes of hockey from this Maple Leaf team that we've probably seen. There's been a couple bad ones, but that was like just not doing anything. Nobody seemed to give a damn. Final shots, I mean, we were outshot 38 to 16, 17, like just wild. And that's a good team that we're playing. So to kind of find a way to just hang in there, thanks to Anthony Stolarz for sure.
Yeah.
But crazy that they were able to pull that one out.
It was kind of a two-man effort there for me. Stolarz being our first man, and then Matthews pulling up the rear, making things happen for us.
Well, I mean, you kind of knew that if you're going to give him a fourth breakaway, he's probably going to score.
That was his worst,
okay.
That was his worst big breakaway of the four, too. You know, it wasn't.
Well, I mean, at least he got it on net. The other ones, he missed the net.
I know. I
don't know what's going on with him, but
yeah, he's just recalibrating. He's maybe still on German time with his shot making, his playmaking. But hey, we don't have much to complain about with that kind of finish. He saved it all for the last go.
Yeah, to get those 2 points. And I was almost on like cloud nine because a minute before the third period began, I'm like, okay, the horrible puck luck for Matthews right now, it has to turn. So
you put some money on him.
What do I do? I sure did.
Goal scorer. Yeah.
Yeah. I put a parlay, but I didn't win. So So, but here's what I didn't think this was going to be an L on this parlay, but so here's what I bet.
Yeah.
Race. It was a parlay. Race to 2 goals after obviously at least we're down 1-0 heading into the third. Race to 2 goals and Matthews anytime goal scorer. So
you had
hold on, just bear with me. So that's so I figured I had that, and then when they win in overtime, obviously 2-1, I think kind of winner chicken dinner, right?
Yeah.
No, I apparently the race to 2 goals meant regulation.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was so pissed off.
That would make me so angry.
It was a plus 1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had
that would have been a big
10
hit.
on it. I had 10 on it. Yeah.
You know, and
I'm so happy they won.
They don't give you that fine print when you go select and you place bet. You know, that's something that I don't like very much. That's happened to me before when I was so excited. I hit something big. I forget what it was. And
especially when you're doing race to 2 goals in the third period.
Yeah, I think that's why you got those 2-step odds. That's
I didn't see any other option to do like race to 2 goals, regulation. Or
I guess it would have been
OT
next
included.
It would have been next goal score then maybe. I don't know. Still. I
was not happy about that. But that's the only thing I'm not happy about.
I would be very unhappy. Sorry to bring this in, but I had Leafs win and Matthews anytime goal scorer. Separate bets, but that was a big goal for me.
There you go. Good show.
Yeah.
Good show.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had 25 on both, which was pretty big for,
Nice.
I tend to keep them. Yeah. So
good job.
Paid off some groceries tonight. Pretty happy about that,
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Obviously, kind of a win-win there with the Leafs winning and you winning money. Well done. But yeah, I mean that game, like through 2 periods, like there was probably not one guy, and as we said, other than Anthony Stolars and Matthews, that had any business being in a competitive hockey game. It felt like it was like, I don't know what the hell was going on with everyone. Were they hungover? I mean, I don't know what the hell was happening. They couldn't complete a pass. Everyone
Big Monday
was
night,
just
boys.
yeah, maybe they had a night on the town in Jersey. I don't know, but they looked awful. They looked so bad.
I don't know if I want to say, I don't know if they looked as off. They did look awful, but I also think the Devils came out so hot and they caught us on our heels for the entire first period. And I don't know if it was us playing slow or badly. The Devils
and period too.
And what's that?
And period two. It's not like we found our legs in period two. It was like pretty brutal through 50 minutes even. Yeah.
Sort of reminiscent of the game that we played. What was the game when Berube took out the blender for the third period? And that's when we saw Matthews and Marner reunite. Something last week. It's a win last week, I think.
Like Chicago? Was it the Chicago or Nashville? I can't remember.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
I think it was Nashville. I don't think it was Chicago because I was at the game and I remember them commentate. I remember them. But maybe it was. Regardless, the blender came out again for the third. We saw those.
Yep.
We saw Willie, Matthews, and Marner out there on the first line.
Yeah, saw a little bit of that.
Josh, which we don't see a lot, like other than on PP1. That's not a formula that we've tried a whole lot, but I think we were just trying to bring some spark to the team.
And I'm not against that kind of experiment. I mean, like Keefe would often do it like 5 minutes into the first period if he didn't like their game. And it's like, okay, everyone, you're playing with different guys now. I mean, at least Berube, it was like, through 40 minutes, you've got whatever it was at that point, 8 shots on goal. Yeah. Sure. Try the blender. Absolutely. Because like, not only were like guys like Marner, Nylander, Tavares was awful. He was just, I don't know what the hell was going on with him. He couldn't handle the puck at all. He had a couple bad turnovers, and I didn't like Willie or Mitch. I didn't like their game at all. The D just looked kind of out of sorts. A lot of defensive zone turnovers, but there just wasn't much to like. So I was okay with going with the blender. Like it felt like Matthews was the only guy who, when he was on the ice, you felt like, okay, they actually have a chance to maybe do something here. But whether it was, I know Holmberg got the goal, like his second goal of the year, first one on a goalie. I love how they found that number. The second goal of the year, but the other one was an empty netter. But like Holmberg, Minton, Pacioretty, Domi, even Nyes, all garbage tonight. All of them were garbage.
Like Pacioretty had that huge hit.
Massive,
that was pretty exciting. Like I saw a few big hits from Pacioretty, from Reeves, and I think that kind
Revo
of
was good.
Game. Revo had the least amount of ice time by far. Like I think Berube kind of earmarked him as a guy. Well, he had at least 1 or 2 less shifts than the fourth line. I think when it came down to time to scoring, Revo wasn't out there too much.
I don't think he played in the third period at all, or maybe one shift. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, so like that physical game that we were playing, or we tried to play to get back in the game. I saw that, and I thought that was something. But you're right. Like even the power plays in the first half of the game, we didn't get anything going. It looked more like a power play for them, or at best 5-on-5.
Yeah,
we were.
And then like I'm looking at like the ice time here, and like I get it. Like I think we had 4 penalties, so maybe that's where most of it can be justified. But Mitch Marner played almost 24 minutes.
Yeah.
It was probably the most unproductive 24 minutes a hockey player has ever played. Like he was terrible. Like if you want to say, he was good on the PK, good defensively, sure. But 24 minutes of ice time, and he got 1 shot on net. He must have turned the puck over at least 2 or 3 times. A lot of soft play from him. We don't have to maybe hit on it yet. Maybe we'll get to it in a bit. I'll leave that to you. But Marner and Nylander's game tonight, and this could be total overreaction Tuesday, and please let me know if you feel it is. But Marner and Nylander's, and I'd even put Riley in there too. Marner, Nylander, and Riley's game tonight was exactly why I have no more confidence that this core group and those three specifically will provide any more of an opportunity to take this team on a deep playoff run than they have in previous years. And maybe a lot of fans don't feel that anyways, but I think there's a lot that have been like, yeah, the way Mitch Marner is playing this year, possessed. The way Nylander is, he's in that elite category of players. Those three guys specifically were so disengaged, so soft on every play, every time they had the puck. I don't want to kind of get too negative because it's a big win, and I think we got to focus more on that. But maybe get your perspective on that sort of hot take that tonight against a really good team in New Jersey, a team that maybe has more speed, that maybe forces you to battle for pucks more. Nylander, Marner, and Riley just folded like a piece of paper tonight.
Well, I think that, the Devils were out there playing for something big. I think this is one of those games that that the entire team has earmarked on the calendar to say, we want to go out and win this for our coach. They want some revenge on the game that they lost to us earlier in the season. And I don't think we were playing for anything. We were playing for a Tuesday night, despite the 2 losses coming into the game. They just looked they looked super flat. Couldn't care less. But I think it's a little bit of an overreaction Tuesday to hear that this is going to be something that, to say that they can't do what you were describing. I think we did see Marner and Nylander bring that brand of hockey that you're asking for them, to put the team on their backs and make things happen, push hard, get those wins. And obviously that's what we want to see from them in the playoffs. I think that this was a bit of a blip night for most of the team. And unfortunate that it came on the back of 2 losses. It should be a game that we really want to win. But I don't think this is something that the Leafs Nation should come crashing down on Mitchie for.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I totally, of course he has, and he always will be, right? He always will be. I guess for me, it was more where I'm coming from, probably more so than just kind of trying to dissect their performance in one game. To me, it was more about who the opponent was, obviously a top team in the conference. Who has Mitch Marner been performing, and Nylander too, performing well against this year? Yeah, the Leafs have had some tough opponents, so it's not like they've all been kind of doormats. But, Mitch Marner has been piling up points against a lot of teams that are inferior, and the Leafs should be beating on a regular basis. And it's, more of the same from what we've had the exposure and the benefit of watching over the years, where it's Mitch Marner, Nylander, they're going to put up their points and during the regular season, and it's going to look good. I guess I just think that there's been that narrative now, and especially because Marner obviously is a free agent. So now you're getting a lot of people saying, it looks different with Mitch Marner. I think you got to lock him up. He's
That's
committed.
Definitely what the narrative of the day is. But, if that's the narrative, got to love games like this where the guy looks like he can't do anything. He's hardly keeping up with the play. If this is going to bring his value down a little bit or bring that big Marner fan fest away, or the push to sign him, bring that down, I think that helps us in our contract talks.
Well, sure. I mean, it helps us if kind of Tree Living, Shanahan, Berube are did you see him against Jersey? Not good, but I don't think they're probably looking at it that way. I think they're, obviously Gary Bettman coming out and saying 92 mil cap next year, pretty much a done deal. That to me probably suggests better chance than ever that Mitch Marner will be re-signed.
You mean given the cap boost?
Yeah, because I think they probably put a deal or a number in front of him at some point between July and now that Marner was are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm not taking Nylander money. I'm not taking 12 mil. But now that it's confirmed the cap is going up, the Leafs are probably going to, say, okay, fine. 13.2. Sure, give
Was
me
there
the
a-
same deal as Matthews.
Was there a doubt that the cap wasn't going up?
No, I think it was just about how much.
Yeah.
And like, I think some were even speculating it could be 97 as early as next year. So I think for most GMs, they probably predicted at least that $4 million increase. So I don't know if it should change how they conduct their business all that much.
Yeah.
But if it's more like now it's kind of official, it's going up for, maybe the Leafs say, hey, if we can get Marner done now, because the number isn't coming down, it's only going up. Do we sign him now if he's willing? And after tonight, I'm just like, same guy, man. Same guy. And if we lock him up, same result too.
Yeah, I think the time to trade him, though, has come and gone.
Oh,
As we know, that window was about 2 seasons ago. I think.
Well, it was probably
playoffs.
before his no trade locked in, right?
That's for sure. Yes.
That was 2 summers ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you sort of heard this new narrative that's emerging? I don't know what truth there is to it, but people speculating that Austin might not want to be in Toronto.
No. Who are you hearing that from?
Well, I listened to this podcast, Leafs Morning Take, and they were playing around with the fact that Austin hasn't really occupied the role that maybe some media, some Toronto fans might have hoped that he would this season. Mm-hmm. He's not that flashy guy. Super quiet on all fronts with
he's not that
media,
flashy.
With regards
not
to
that flashy. Have you seen his pregame attire? Have you seen his pregame swag?
But that doesn't really trickle down to his, to his interest in taking this team at the, by the horns and getting out there in front of the media and seeming to be the leader that we kind of thought he would. So some people are thinking that maybe this 4-year contract was very deliberate, that he may even look elsewhere before it ends.
Whoa!
It's true. This is what they were saying.
No, hey, I'm not denying that that's their perspective. I don't. I mean, again, it's just opinions here, but I don't put any stock into that or any credibility into that. Like, I don't think Austin Matthews, we're in December here, so we're talking 4 months after he was named captain, a year or whatever after he signed the deal. I don't think he's got any ill feelings towards the city, towards the team. I don't know.
They said specifically that he's hunting a warmer climate.
Now, after just signing that 4-year deal. Oh, Leafs Morning Take. We might have to invite you in here. That's clickbait. Careful, Caroline. Okay. That's going to get you every time. That's clickbait.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear it after a game like today. But had you said these things to me 2 games ago, like, he's not really playing like he played, towards the end of last season. He hasn't been producing at those rates. He doesn't jump out of the games like he has.
It's his fourth game back. Fourth game back, right? From injury?
Fourth game back from injury. But even before
doesn't he have 4 points in 4 games?
I don't think so. He wasn't on the score sheet the last 3 games. No goals this past weekend. We had goals from JT. We had goals from Willie, Mitchie. Nothing from Matthews. He may have scored last Wednesday night, but it's been a week, and that was unheard of last season.
So he came back. He came back on November 30th.
He had a 2-goal night after a no-goal
assist night.
Okay,
November 30th, first game back, 2 assists.
2 assists, no goals.
His second game back, 2 assists, no goals.
Yeah.
He had 2 assists. Then the next game, he scored a goal. Then the next game, he got 2 goals. He didn't have any points against Washington. And then he had 2 assists against Pittsburgh.
Okay. Well.
And then he scored the game winner tonight.
Yeah. I'll take the game-winning goals. But what I'm saying is that I don't see Connor McDavid going through these blips in his season. Even when he's struggling with injury, even when he's returning from injury, Connor McDavid is the best player in the world, bar none. If we're putting Matthews in the best,
he's not McDavid.
2, 3, 4, position in the world. I expect to see Austin making magic out there every night. And sometimes he does fall back in the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He for
think
sure
that we
does.
built our
And
team around him. And
Yep.
I need him to do a little more if we're going to try to, like he did tonight. That's a perfect example.
so you're
of how
okay
we
with what he
need-
did tonight,
Well,
but you
he,
weren't good
like,
with the
even before
2-point
the
efforts before.
even before the game-winning goal, Guy was
Yep.
the only one with good scoring chances.
Right.
Like Holmberg's wasn't even a good scoring chance. He just,
It's a terrible shot.
pulled
He
that
whiffed
out of
on
the
it.
hat. Great
Yeah.
argument for shooting the puck, though, I must say.
yeah. There's no bad shot in hockey, as every coach will tell you, right? There's
No.
never a bad shot. Although that was a bad shot, but
Although
it did
that
go in.
was a bad. I wonder how
Horrible.
Marks was feeling about that goal. Jeez.
Probably not too great.
So he's
Probably
had
not too great.
Yeah, he was having a good night before that, but you can't leave a
Right, didn't
game
have any
and
shots.
say
Yeah.
he didn't have many shots, but he had a few. Like the shots that he did have were pretty good scoring opportunities.
He made a couple
And it
nice
was-
saves. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so funny. Did you see that there in the second when there was like 6 shots for Toronto, and then slowly the shots started dwindling? Like they started taking shots off the board for us.
Yeah, I
was
did
like,
see that something.
"Come
But-
on."
yeah, like it went back to 4, and I was like, hold on a second here. You took 2 off? Like,
I know.
how are you that far off? The
It was like
scorekeeper. Yeah.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Nothing worse could happen for us at that point in the game. But then the shots start
Yeah.
coming off the board.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
you obviously take the 2 points. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I think we maybe can keep going on the Matthews front because, like, obviously no one's going to argue and put Matthews in the same category as McDavid. I'd even have McKinnon almost like a tier above Matthews because I think those are probably your 3 best forwards and probably players in the game right now. I think most would say it is those 3: McDavid, McKinnon, and Matthews, and probably in that
Matthews
order.
Yeah, sometimes with Matthews.
But I think we also have to acknowledge, like, that Austin Matthews is obviously a very different player. Like, he's not a guy who's going to, like, be like McDavid and McKinnon and having end-to-end dashes with the puck. Like, that's not his game. He is Ovechkin. He's Ovechkin.
Yeah, that's true. That's totally true.
And, like, no one was being critical when we had the whole, like, who's better, Crosby or Ovechkin? There's no one, like, everyone kind of assumed, well, Crosby's probably the better player, but Ovechkin was by far the better goal scorer.
Point getter, yeah.
So that created that potential debate, Crosby or Ovi.
Yeah.
Now I feel like, and I'm not even suggesting there is a debate, Matthews or McDavid, but I think we also have to appreciate that what Matthews is doing, it's never going to look as pretty. It's never going to look for, like, people who are like, yeah, I want to see a guy just control the play for every shift that he's on like McDavid does. That's not Matthews' game. It won't ever be. He's not going to be a guy that demands the puck and always, does obviously want it in the offensive zone, but he's not a guy who expects to be carrying the puck and offensive zone entries every time. Like, that's more what Marner and Nylander are doing for the team. Austin Matthews is like, when we get offensive zone possession, you got to be looking for me if I'm anywhere around the net. Like, that's his game. He's a goal scorer, and he does it way better than any player in the league right now. So
he's missing the net a whole lot.
Tonight was a weird one. Like, I was like, what the hell's going on with the guy? He might still be hurting. I don't know, but that was very odd.
He used to be such a goalpost merchant. Like, he would hit a post.
Yeah.
As many shots as he would get in a night. He would hit the same number of posts. Now he's missing the net. We didn't see any posts from him tonight.
So maybe kind of going the opposite way that you'd want it to go, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, you want post and then in the net, not post and then missing the net. I think I feel you there. Yeah.
But when he got that OT breakaway, something in my head goes, "Oh, he's getting this. Like, he's making up for those other missed opportunities." Like, I was pretty sure that was going to be all she wrote.
Well, it's a little bit weird because, like, I didn't think he was going to get there because, like, when the puck first went out there, he had no idea where it was. No idea. And then it's like he turned around and saw the puck there. And then he still was able to, like, beat the guy to the puck. And then it was a pretty nice, like, physical play for him to get position on. Forget who the D-man was. I don't know if it was Hamilton.
Me too.
But, like, that's a goal scorer's goal. And that's one that he is easily the only player on the Maple Leaf team who scores that goal. Like, I think if that was like a Nylander,
Willie would have made it
he's
there.
getting knocked off the puck.
You
He's
think
getting
so?
knocked off
Yeah,
the puck.
you're right, actually. No, Matthews definitely stuck with it. There was a big battle there, and he toughed that one out.
It was a big boy goal.
Yeah, OT, holy moly, like, it's so exciting. Anybody that doesn't like this 3-on-3 OT, they are wrong. You don't like stress if you don't like 3-on-3 OT.
No, it's fantastic. The only problem I find, like, we're always the worst team in OT.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we always lose in OT.
Well,
we always lose in OT. It's been different this year, but like even previous, 4 or 5 years, we've been terrible 3-on-3.
That's true.
And it always feels like the other team has the puck the whole time.
I know. It did in a small way tonight.
Yeah.
Their possession was much higher than ours. Like, remember, we had Luke Hughes like huffing and puffing out there. He's on the ice for 2 minutes.
Yeah, but like Luke and Jack Hughes had the puck for probably 2/3 of that overtime, and Marner and Matthews hardly had it until finally he got that breakaway. But we're always chasing it. It feels like an OT.
I know. It's like a possession game, of course. That first rush by the Devils, that could have been game ender right there.
Oh yeah,
Stolarz made a big save.
He was incredible. He was incredible. I don't think we've talked about it enough.
Incredible.
Yeah, he was dialed in. Yeah, he was incredible.
Do you think old Wall could have kept us in that game as much as Stolarz did?
Oh boy. I think I'm picking something up over there. Picking something up. Well, I guess he'll have his opportunity against the tough Anaheim Ducks on Thursday. We will see. The bar's been raised, though. If he wants to keep a share of that net, he's definitely got to step up his game. Like, he was okay against Pitt. He wasn't great. He made some saves that could have kept them in the game and could have given them a shot, but
he just didn't get the goal scoring. These last couple games, we've struggled to score goals.
Offensive dried up as we get our players back into the lineup, which is exactly how you would think it would go for this Maple Leaf team that always performs better with more guys out of the lineup.
Yeah. So who are we still waiting on? We're waiting on McMahon to come back. But other than that,
and McCabe.
Yeah, but other than that, like up front, we're pretty healthy, right? So we're getting
Camp and Yarncroke. Probably would have helped tonight.
Yeah, why? Who would you have taken out for Camp?
Nobody. Holmberg obviously doing me like he scored a goal tonight. You would take him out?
No, I'm not. The guy was so lucky. He basically needed to dump the puck and it hit the net and it went in.
Yeah,
that was what that play was.
The guy does nothing out there. Does nothing.
No,
so they obviously sent Grebyankin down. Grebyankin's down. So, I mean, I guess when McMahon comes back, I don't know. Is that Holmberg out? Is that Revo out? I don't know. I think McMahon could be back for the weekend or early next week.
Yeah,
so they're going to have a decision to make.
Yeah. So what's going on with then Alex Nylander? Like, he didn't have to clear waivers, so he's just sort of sitting in the press box?
Yeah, I guess for now. I guess they're trying to hold off as long as they can. But yeah, probably when McMahon comes back, now that Grebyankin is down, I think in order to clear a spot for McMahon to come back, I would think Alex Nylander has to be put on waivers, and they just got to accept the fate. I'm not even sure Alex Nylander would get claimed, but they might be worried about that right now. No,
he could have been, like we said last show, he could have been claimed by teams up until he was signed to an NHL contract like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
correct.
And, totally. Teams had their chances before he got the NHL contract with the Maple Leafs. Teams could have signed him when he was playing with the Marlies.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the guy that we're skipping over, which is pretty easy to do because he didn't play, Nicky Robertson. Nicky Robertson.
Yeah. Somebody offer sheet him, please. Take him away.
Well, you won't be able to do an offer sheet now. You can only do that in the off season. But maybe someone can offer us a 5th-round pick because that should be all it takes to move him.
Oh, we'll take some 2 or 3 keg gift cards for him, I think.
That would be pretty good. The keg's a nice place to eat and enjoy a nice meal and wine. So, yeah, perhaps Tree Living would like
located. It's great, you know?
Although, would Tree Living because of, his Boston Pizza connection, would he just be like,
I don't know.
yeah,
I think they're in different
if you give me a
tiers.
gift card to a restaurant,
if-
I'm not going there. I'm not supporting any other restaurant. Not that the Keg is really competition for Boston Pizza and their
That's right.
kids' birthday parties, but
Mhm.
I just don't think Braintree Living would really accept a gift card. Maybe he'd give it to some of the players for like a Christmas gift.
So then it would be, chalk it up as other consideration or future consideration.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, speaking of returns, we had Max Domi come back today after what felt like a very long absence, I thought.
Yeah.
Lower body injury, LBI.
LBI. Yeah, we're going to tell you exactly what's wrong in Domi. LBI. Oh, okay. Got it.
Can we get anything more? No.
Thanks, Chief. Yep.
Yeah. So what did you think of what you saw from number 11 tonight?
Awful. He was terrible.
Yeah. I couldn't believe he got so many OT minutes and so many minutes deep in the third there.
He was actually trying to shoot the puck a little bit, but he didn't hit the net. Like I liked it. He's trying to be more aggressive. I guess Berube's told him, like, dude, if you're in there tonight, like, you got to start shooting the puck. Like, our offense is dried up considerably. We need somebody else other than Matthews and Nylander to shoot the puck.
Like, dude, have you seen how bad our bottom six is? Get back, get in there. Just make it, do something to get people off the back of these six dudes.
That's right.
But Domi's got a pretty good shot. He doesn't dish it very much.
His shot's not bad.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because I'm looking at the comment that Bookham Dano made. Yeah, I'm exactly with him here. Can someone tell Chief to play Domi with Matthews? Because Max Domi is a guy, and not that he'd be the only one, but he's a very talented player, good playmaker. But if you're going to play him with guys like Holmberg and, if you want to try him with like Lorenz, even Pacioretty, sure, he's not going to do anything. And I don't think, and I know Berube's gone back to it, but I don't think Marner and Matthews can remain a thing 5-on-5. Because as good as they look when they first get put back together or they get reunited and they score a goal and everyone's like, you see, 34-16, they need to play together. Look how good they are. Everyone who watches hockey should know that you put two really good players, talented players together, more often than not, they will find a way to put the puck in the net. So the excitement when Matthews and Marner score a goal when they're on the same line is, like, to me, it's crazy. It's like silly already. We get it. They will find a way. They will score goals together against Chicago and Nashville. We get it. But that's not the only time Matthews will score a goal. He's done it with Domi.
Yeah. We
balance it up.
See that same chemistry or magic that happens when Matthews and Nylander are up there together.
It's
kind of like that Mitch Austin magic. Like,
Well, because definitely Mitch Marner is a better playmaker than Nylander. Like, definitely Nylander wants the puck. And since Willie Nylander's been a Leaf, like his whole career, I don't think there's been one player.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. That has played well with Nylander, because I don't think you can have anyone that would have chemistry with Nylander. Like, even his brother didn't get any ice time with him, and who knows how many times they've played like pond hockey together. And Berube was like, I don't think those two guys will work together. Like, you can't, it's hard to play really anybody, like any talented player with William Nylander, because he's so dominant, like with the puck possession. Like, or he's not back checking. So it's like a waste to have Matthews on a line with him, because the only benefit of like Nylander being on the ice is when they're in the offensive zone. And when Nylander is on the ice, when the team is in the offensive zone, he's not looking to pass. He's looking to skate around.
He is. And
perimeter.
I think what you just said there is actually a pretty good argument for keeping Mitch and Austin together. Is because
over Nylander and Matthews.
Yeah.
But is there a third option? Maybe a third option. Like, is it Domi, Matthews, and Nyes?
And then you bank Mitchie with Willie.
you could, or, you know, I know it's not going to sit well with too many Leaf fans and, you know, kids who've got Nylander posters in their bedroom, but you put Nylander on the third line.
I mean, that's something that probably just then we're going to have to get
I don't see it happening, but
I don't see it happening either. And I think that would shake up the time on ice a little bit too much. Like right now we're seeing a pretty steep drop off from the first two lines. So third, fourth lines for time on ice.
No, you're right. We probably don't have enough depth to do that, but I think that would be ideal. Because then you could do Marner, JT, and let's say Pacioretty.
Yeah.
Then you could do McMahon, Nylander, and who am I missing? I don't want to put Holmberg there really, but and Fraser Minton. I think that's an okay third line. That's not terrible for Nylander.
Yeah.
McMahon, Minton, Nylander.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Nylander would say thank you, no thank you, but I think it's
probably
in theory it's pretty good.
Okay, I'm just gonna email that to Berube right now. Give me a sec. Because I get it. Like they always just are gonna find a way to go back to Matthews and Marner because they're like, oh well, like we didn't score goals 5-on-5. So really Marner and Matthews is our only option. But how did that look tonight? It looked terrible. Like
it looked terrible until it looked pretty good. At the end, until Matthews
but I wouldn't give Mitch Marner that credit.
No, you're right. That had nothing to do with Mitch Marner.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. So I want to take it a step back to just something before I forget to say it. We've been talking a lot about how Leaf Nation doesn't give us information on injuries. Like we get the LBIs, we get the day-to-day that turns into month-to-month, you know, what have you.
Trip to Germany.
And did you see that Shanahan had a 6-minute long press conference fairly recently? I forget where it took place.
I did not. No.
It was really interesting, and I didn't watch all 6 minutes, but what I did watch was enough to take away that he came out and said the reason that we don't want to talk about injuries, we don't want to give details, is because it gives the other teams an advantage into what's happening with our players, what their timelines are going to look like. And we want to keep that advantage to ourselves. We want to keep that away from other teams. And like, I think we all knew that. Like that's been, that's,
well, I think it's definitely it's very much a hockey thing. Like it's not,
but it's
only
not all
the
teams.
Maple Leafs. It's not all, but
it isn't only the Maple Leafs. You're right.
Yeah.
But I thought it was so validating.
Are so secretive. Like that LBI, UBI isn't only a Leaf thing. You get that from a lot of teams' reports.
That's true.
And I get it. Hockey's a physical game, so everyone's worried about, if you say it was Matthews' back, they're going to like be going after him the first game he comes back.
Yeah. But
they don't do that in football. They don't do that in football. Like the kind of secretive nature of injuries in football is just as physical of a game as hockey, if not more so.
Not more, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't feel they need to say, oh, I'm not going to tell you it's a knee injury. We're only giving you lower body. I get it. There's more of that Vegas betting requirement where teams have to be more.
I don't like that angle.
No, but
keep it off the shelf so Vegas doesn't lose.
But it's the absolute truth. Yeah, it's the absolute truth, and they're trying to make sure that the books keep the advantage, right? So if a team has their quarterback or running back nursing an injury, the NFL and the books are saying, I got to know exactly what this is. Is he 50% hurt? Is he 75%? Like, tell me what his probability is. So they have the most detailed injury report in pro sports, whereas hockey is garbage. They don't tell you anything.
Well, I just hate that. Like, it should be for the fans. Like, we the little people. We want to know about what's going on.
It's not anymore, Caroline. It's not anymore.
Personal knowing. When we go to sleep at night, we want to be like, is Matthews coming back? I don't care if somebody's going to be making bad bets and Idaho. Give them the bad bet. I'm just
but how about if it's me making that bad bet? You don't care about
I don't care either. It's
money?
Betting. Okay. Yeah, it's fun money. It should be fun money.
No, it just kind of like a funny kind of nuance of like the NFL.
Is. No, and that's good info. Like
everything's
will take
full disclosure there.
I will take that to the bank, as in I will bank that info, and I believe you and everything. I just again don't like this. This is not a verb or a corporatization of sports or corporatization of like the media around it. I think it's
Yeah.
becoming, so much.
Yeah, it's gone too far with like the kind of like, oh, we're not going to disclose anything. Like, I mean, even a guy like Callie Yarncroke, like, have we heard anything about what this guy is going through? Like, can you just tell us he's done for the year? Do we know what Hockenpah is going through now? Like, no information.
To your point, a couple episodes ago, like Yarncroke is on Roby-Dot Island, my friend.
Probably.
He is packing. He's good. He's over there chilling.
He's having a good time. Yeah.
But Hockenpah, I don't know. I feel like I think he could come back. Like, why did Finland put him on a roster? I'm sure
Actually,
there was
on
some,
that,
like,
on that, confirm or deny the next game,
TSN
Yanni
stuff.
Hockenpah, stealing an Overdrive segment. Shout out to Overdrive. Great show. Confirm or deny the next game that Yanni Hockenpah will play is for Team Finland.
Deny. That would be crazy for Team Finland to take their 7th best defender in the league to come back right before Four Nations. Like, that's like a silly move. That's like putting Max Domi out in his first game in the first round of the playoffs. He looked terrible.
No, but do we think he's ready to return, like to play for the Maple Leafs right now? Like, I don't know,
but like, when is Four Nations?
I think
like, months.
February, yeah. I mean, I would hope he plays for the Maple Leafs before, or if not, I would really question why Finland would take him, because then that would mean the injury is a lot worse than what they're making it seem to be right now. I think they've even said he's day to day. But
did they? Well, they always say everyone is day to day.
Everyone's day to day, and then maybe more week to week now. We're not really going to say maybe LTIR. Okay,
maybe. Yeah. When McCabe got hit, I was at that game in Tampa. He got hit, smoked in the ear, side of the face. Looked terrible. He was on the ice. They were bringing the stretcher out. Took the stretcher back, and then the Leafs reporters the next day. He's good. No concussion. He's going to play tomorrow night. He's going to be in next game. And then just no news. Like,
well, yeah.
This is the worst.
Well, and perhaps that explains why Austin Matthews went to Germany to get, either another medical opinion or an operation. Who knows? Because, like, I don't know, like, are the Leaf doctors, like, really that inept that it was like, and I think even Jake McCabe thought he'd get back in the lineup right away. So I don't know if it was like after the effect, like a few days after, all of a sudden he was more symptomatic.
I think it's ongoing headaches, and then they started getting more worried about a concussion.
Oh, maybe he's got the Willie Nylander playoff migraine.
Well, it's been too long now. This is going on 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he went
because as we saw in the Amazon series, the only thing Willie Nylander was able to do when he had those severe migraines was have a few of his friends over drinking and eating snacks while he watched the Maple Leafs lose to the Bruins. Yeah,
while he watched the screen and like ultra, 4K.
Right.
I think that was actually filmed after the fact.
Like when he was, you think it was like just planted?
Yeah.
Planted for entertainment value? Well, because it definitely doesn't look good on him.
The guy is laughing and chatting when he was like a ghost from the Toronto media. What is he welcoming, like the Amazon cameraman crew into his Yorkville apartment?
That's why it was so weird. Yeah, because after I saw that, because I felt terrible, like when he was describing what he was going through, and I fortunately haven't been someone who suffered from migraines.
That would have leaked. I'm sorry. You are a sufferer of migraines?
No, I'm not. And I don't know anybody like close to me who has. So I'm not trying to like diminish what he was going through. But if it is, or if it was right, but if it was as it was described, horrible English there. But based on what they were saying he was going through, it doesn't really connect. The dots don't connect there that he was watching the Maple Leafs play. As you said, surround sound, speakers go in, and bright lights on.
Migraine. No.
I've heard you're not right. So don't want to dwell on that because it's kind of in the past. But I don't know if that's what McCabe is going through now. But
when that Face Off Amazon documentary dropped, I watched a few podcasts and they did the same discussion. Like, oh my God, Willie's being seen, and it was nearer to this whole hoopla around where is Willie. and they were like guaranteed this needed to be filmed at another point. Like, there's no chance Willie would let himself be in that, be seen in that setting and not.
I agree with you. I don't think he.
I don't know.
Like, I don't think a player would, but I don't think Willie Nylander has any sort of like desire to filter things out. I don't think he cares if people call him soft. I don't think he feels a need to prove that. Oh yeah, no, I really couldn't play. I know
that's fair. It's not
he doesn't seem like that guy that would really get bent out of shape if the media is like, we saw the Amazon, like, you sure you couldn't have gone in game 3?
But I still think he's a player, and if he were in a situation to be able to play, I think he'd go and play. Like, remember, he comes back to the bench and he's fired up, yelling at Mitch, yelling at Matthews. Like, boys, this isn't good enough.
Yeah, no, I'm not denying he's a competitive guy, no doubt. I'm not questioning his competitiveness, for sure.
So I saw Willie last week after the game. I told you he lives at my grandma's building, and I parked at my grandma's building to go down to the game because she's right on the subway line. As we know, Willie loves to take the subway. So I take the subway up.
Man of the people.
I take the subway up. I'm sitting in the lobby, and all of a sudden a Porsche Cayenne pulls in. They have valet. So anyway, they park right at the front door, and I'm like, I think I know who that is.
Wow.
And I see Willie and Alex walk in with their Chipotle.
Wait, Chipotle before a game?
No, this is after the game.
Oh, after the game. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That would probably be the worst choice for a pregame meal.
No, I think that's what they do. But I think that's what they do have.
Chipotle?
Yeah. Yeah. If you watch Ella, you clearly don't follow Ella Nylander. Because she sometimes she picks up the
I will put my hand up and admit I do not follow her.
It's Alex Nylander's pregame meal is Chipotle bowl. But yeah, I agree. Like a little rice.
Oh, it's his pregame meal, because that makes sense then. Because Alex Nylander has looked like a bag of you-know-what every game. So maybe he's got to cut out
chicken burrito bowls.
Yeah, you can tell he's full of beans and guacamole, and that's why he's not actually doing anything on the ice. He might have to switch up that routine.
Yeah. Joshua, I didn't even mean to do it, but I overlapped with Willie and Alexander in the lobby of the building that they live in. And anyway, I'm wearing my jersey. My friend's with me. She's wearing her jersey. And like, I'd had like 5 beers, whatever, at the game. I was like, big win, boys. Big win, guys. And they go, yeah. And
that's some interaction there. Nice.
Yeah, it was just us in the lobby. Okay. And then I said something like, oh, my grandma loves your dogs. She lives just above you. And then they go to the elevator lobby, and from the elevators, they kind of, they're waiting for the thing. And Willie sticks his head around and goes, have a good night, girls. And that was, I thought, the nicest part of the interaction. Like, he didn't need to say anything like that.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Willie Nylander. Who knew? Who knew?
And they spoke Swedish, which what I thought was Swedish with the guy that worked at the desk, the concierge desk. So really? Just like exactly as you think they would be in interviews, especially Willie, just like very calm, confident, and cool.
So it feels like kind of that condo, your grandma's condo, has basically recruited staff to make sure that William Nylander is made to feel special. Or is it just a coincidence that the concierge is Swedish in the building that Willie Nylander?
Very odd coincidence that the building.
That would be a very odd coincidence. Yeah,
it's you could be right, because it's one of those buildings that has a very high proportion of snowbirds. People that have second residences and spend their winters in the warmer place. And so Willie's basically living there by himself. So maybe he is just staffing the building right now with his Swedish place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very familiar with kind of the numbers. If Toronto has a large Swedish community.
No, I don't think
outside of who plays on the Toronto Maple Leafs, of course.
We got a big Swedish contingent on our team.
OEL, Holmberg, yeah.
5 last Alex Nylander, if we still count him. Somebody else.
You got to count him for now, yeah.
No, who else? Jake. No, I was thinking Jake McCabe, but of course not Jake McCabe.
He's obviously not playing right now, but Yarncroke.
Yes,
Swedish.
Yeah, That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But
I'll
Willie
send you the
Nylander
video.
just,
I'll send you the video, Josh.
oh, you got the video.
I didn't take it
Nice.
actually. My friend did, and then I said, "Turn it off."
Yeah, we're kind of getting on the verge of creeper status over here. Yeah.
I truly thought they thought maybe we were sitting there because we would expect them to come back from the game, which is now a good plan
probably
for me,
because you
which
brought
is-
out your Willie Nylander hockey cards and you had your Sharpie ready to go. That's
Well,
probably
I
why they
mean,
thought that.
Also, yeah, just so happened to be in this empty building wearing our Leafs jerseys right after
Yeah.
the game ends. Game ends plus 40 minutes to account for the dressing and then the subway.
Yeah.
Well, they
you
didn't
had it
take the
timed
subway,
perfectly.
actually. They didn't take the subway. They took the car. So,
Okay.
but no, I swear it was just coincidence. I was just picking up the car.
Just so happened.
It did. No, honestly, but now I know if I do want to do a little stalk, I know how to do it.
You already have it programmed on your phone. Willie Nylander, ETA to the building, to the elevator, Chipotle in hand.
I can check the timestamp, I guess, too. That's true. This
Yep.
is the time. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway, let's move on. This is looking bad. This is sounding bad.
No, all good. I think we've dissected the game enough. I mean, obviously there wasn't too much else to focus on in a game that was pretty much a low event up until kind of the third period. Are you at all concerned? Obviously, they got the 2 points tonight, but it's definitely 3 games in a row where they haven't looked very good. For probably, if we say for the 180 minutes, I'd say probably they've played 150 minutes at least of terrible hockey over the last 3 games. Any concerns from you, or just it's a long season, you can't be good every night?
I'm concerned if we're meeting the Devils in the first round of the playoffs. That's for sure. And that's something that...
Why? You think Keefe can get out of the first round?
I don't think Keefe, not even just Keefe, but the Devils, what is it, the last 12 seasons, they haven't gotten past the first round.
Is that right? Wow.
Sounds a lot like us. However, I think I am concerned. I think that we were riding a pretty long streak of feeling unbeatable. Not unbeatable, but feeling fairly solid and bulletproof.
God, we were at least going to be in every game. Yeah.
Yeah, we were giving up 2 goals a game, scoring 3 goals a game kind of thing.
Yep.
And now we've definitely struggled to score. We're getting back to healthy, but it's not getting us back to full speed. So I think I am a little bit concerned. I don't think I'm as jazzed about the team as I was about 5 games ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, the roster's continuing to shift, right? We're seeing it be put in the blender. We're seeing players return.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if we can get into a swing of a little bit of normalcy or a little bit of steady, we can get somewhere. But yeah, what about you? Are you feeling a little bit of a little anxious?
Maybe not anxious, but yeah, obviously haven't liked their game. And obviously with the guys coming back in, Pacioretty, Domi, you would definitely expect things to look better, even though we joked early in the show, usually when they have all their guys available, they don't look as good as compared to when they have guys missing. But even guys that were bright spots for them earlier in the year, whether it's Nyes, Tavares was obviously looking amazing up until, for me, the last couple games. His play's fallen off. Nylander tonight, I thought was awful. So guys that you weren't worried about maybe 2 weeks ago. Now I'm kind of obviously it's not going to,
you're so reactionary,
overthink
Josh.
it.
You're such
I'm feeling like I have been very reactionary tonight. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I have been very reactionary tonight. And it's not usually how I operate. But
no, it's not. Yeah. You look at things considerately.
Yeah, I try to be that big picture type of fan. But yeah, the last 3 games, it has kind of felt like, Nylander, Riley, even Tanev, couple guys. OEL, their play has felt like it's like dipped a little bit. So again, not really much anxiety, but I think just kind of concern. And now that there's guys that are back in, is that what's maybe making their 5-on-5 play not look as good? Because now Berube actually has options. He has different combinations that could work. Whereas before, when you didn't have Domi and Pacioretty, it was easy to say, okay, Matthews, Marner, you go play together. Now it feels like I think he has to get a little bit more creative, and I have faith that Berube can. But now that guys are back, I don't think you're going to be winning that many hockey games if you continue to rely on Matthews and Marner. And when you have those two guys together, those two guys are such a big part of their offensive capabilities that unless they're dominating 5-on-5, which we know they have the ability to do that, but the last 3 games they certainly haven't. So I would say you separate them and see if you can, get more, elevate more the play of Pacioretty and Domi. And then when McMahon comes, give these guys a chance to prove that maybe they can be those depth secondary scoring options. Because if not, and if this team is going to go into the playoffs where it's like, okay, we know Matthews, Nylander, and Marner, we're going to ride or die with those guys. I don't have much faith in what the other guys behind them are able to do right now. So then you probably have to be hunting for a top 6 forward before the trade deadline, right?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about that. Like, I can't believe all of these names that Toronto fans, media is associating with the Maple Leafs as potential trade or free agent acquisitions. Like, it's everything from Crosby to Kadri to Ryan O'Reilly to Jacob Trouba. It's
We're going to get all of them.
The biggest headed fan base. Like, come on, guys, let's not be such egomaniacs. Jacob Trouba just came out and said he doesn't want to go to a Canadian team. And then, like, literally, Toronto media next day turns around and goes, "Ooh, Jacob Trouba."
Well, I think it was actually Steve Simmons. Steve Simmons from the Sun. I think he was the brainchild behind that Trouba rumor.
That's ridiculous. Why?
But he's usually not the guy who just throws things out there. Like, I don't think it's going to happen, but Trouba would be the exact type of guy that Tree Living would want.
Yeah, that's
so I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's going to happen, but if Anaheim was willing to retain for the year and a half left on Trouba's deal, I would be so in on Trouba.
Yeah, I read an article today that they would want Anaheim to retain 50% of his salary. And I'm sort of going, in what world? Why would a team agree to that?
Because you're giving them Fraser Minton or a first-round pick.
Got that. Okay.
But yeah, Anaheim would have to have like a other team. Like, it'd have to basically have a third-party broker the trade, because the maximum you can take as a retention on a cap hit is 25%. So you'd have to bring in a third team, and they'd basically just have to absorb 25% of Trouba's money, remaining cap hit for the next year and a half, and they would obviously get compensated to do that, whether it's by Anaheim or by Toronto. So it would be a 3-way trade to do that.
Wow. That's when you need the economists or the data analytics guys on your team.
Break out the calculator. Where's Kyle Dubas when you need him? That's his forte.
Yeah. Well, I could see us anyway. I don't know. I think getting another Berube style forward could be in our cards. But you know, one thing, if we're going back to tonight's game, that I thought might happen and we didn't see is a fight. Like, New Jersey is has the second most fighting majors in the league. We've got, a known fighter on our bench.
Revo doesn't fight anymore. Yeah, he's become more offensive weapon. That's more what he's going for. He actually had one of the better chances we had on that deflection. I was really rooting for him.
That's so funny.
There isn't anything better than a Ryan Reeves goal celly. Like,
what does it look like? I can't remember. It's been so long.
It just looks cool because the puck actually went in the net off his stick, and you could tell he's very excited, and he's not shy about celebrating and patting himself on the back. But
you know who's been a bit of an assist merchant recently is stay-at-home
Marner.
Tanev. Tanev's
Tanev's been piling up points. Yeah.
I think he's maybe had the most production of our decor in the last 5 games.
Yeah, and that's
a bit of a stretch.
Pathetic when you're paying Morgan Riley $7.5 million to drive offense from the blue line. He was bad tonight too. I think
we know that about Riley.
He just to me, he's just like, I want to see what did he, because he played a lot. Maybe not. He only played like almost 21 minutes, and probably because obviously he doesn't play on the PK, but he would have been like well over 21, 22 minutes if it was not for being shorthanded so much. OEL actually played. He had the most ice time of any Leaf, 24 minutes.
I noticed that. Yeah, he was beast. Yeah. He was beasting on the ice time tonight.
Yeah.
So I just love this comment from Josh out of the blue. Mitch Marner's grandma went and talked on Instagram Live with Curtis from Alberta last game. I think you're going to need to give us a little bit more details on that, Joshua. Like, what did we talk about? Why did he go live with Curtis?
She actually had. She's been on with. No, well, she has been on with Curtis from Alberta, or he's talked to her because there was, I think, something last year that Curtis from Alberta was in Toronto for a Leaf game and met Mitch Marner's grandma at the bar or something. Apparently, she's a complete souse.
What does that mean?
She likes the booze. She likes the booze. And I'm just speculating. I don't think that's actually accurate, but he did run into her at the bar.
So who recognized who? That's like, come on. They're not both.
Good. It's a good point. I don't think Mitch's grandma follows him on his Instagram or TikTok.
Maybe.
And maybe Joshua can explain more what he talked about. But I don't know if you know the backstory on this, but apparently, like, she has a Twitter account, Mitch Marner's grandma, and apparently there's this whole thing that the Marner family, the immediate family, has pretty much like distanced themselves from grandma, that they're not on speaking terms.
Oh my God.
And like either they don't really talk very much, that something happened. I'm not even going into details because I'll probably I don't know a lot about it, but that was kind of the details that came out on TikTok, where Mitch Marner's grandma, from her account, supposedly was just providing a lot of details on, they don't talk to me. Mitch's mom doesn't want me around at games or anything. So I don't know.
Is it Paul Marner's mom? Is it on the Marner side then?
I think it's Paul's mom. I believe so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here we go.
Get right into this.
Joshua.
Ooh.
They talked about they were going to Toronto and Tampa game. She showed Mitch Marner pictures of Mitch and his brother playing hockey as kids. Yeah, she's had a lot of like posts like that. Like, she's just trying to show how much she loves Mitch and supporting him, which I'm sure is probably sincere. But I guess something happened with I don't know if it's Paul's thing or maybe with Mitch's grandma's daughter-in-law, the mom of Mitch. I don't know where it stems from, but a little bit of drama there in the Marner household.
Damn. Okay. I know who I'm following on Instagram tonight. It's Mitch Marner's grandma.
Well, she has a Twitter account. I don't know if she's on IG, but I guess.
I don't know. I kind of left Twitter.
But she did go on IG Live with Curtis, so she must have an account, I'm guessing.
That's so funny. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, whose grandma does not have an IG account? Let's face it.
I mean, my grandma does, but she doesn't really know how to use it.
She does? Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She does, private.
Yeah.
She's there.
Because I would think the...
her profile picture is just number 88 for Nylander.
Is that right? Yeah?
No.
Yeah, because I would think Facebook. I would think they're more Facebook.
That's
generation.
Demographic. Yeah.
Whereas we've kind of said goodbye to Facebook a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have no use for it anymore.
I logged into my Facebook the other day and I made this joke that I was going to try to write on somebody's wall. You can't write on anybody's wall anymore. It's not an option.
Really?
Yeah. I had no idea.
Like what? You have to be following them or they have to be following you?
No, I just
or
don't
you just
think
can't do it.
It's just not there. Like it's
Oh.
more of a timeline now of what happens on your page. Like you've been tagged in a photo,
That's
you
weak.
commented something. Well, I get it. Like writing on people's walls, that was weird. You see their personal communications. I'm
Yeah.
glad for
Yeah.
the evolutions of social media platforms have sort of caught up to the times in terms of like privacy and whatnot.
But like on like TikTok, Twitter, it's fair game. You can reply or comment on anyone's post, right?
That's
Like
true.
there's no security there. I mean, you can
Yeah.
obviously put your settings so you only allow comments from people that follow you or that you follow. But if you don't have that, fair game for anyone who wants to say, "Oh, you're an asshole." Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Don't know who you
Right.
are.
And that would be public on your replies if your replies are public.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, interestingly, like I work in social media and my company today said we are going to stop focusing on Twitter and we're moving our business to Blue Sky. And I was like, wow, that's
I
like,
don't need. Is that weird that I don't know what that is? Blue
yeah.
Sky?
Yeah. No, it's not weird, but it's the new kind of, I would say it's the more left leaning, progressive Twitter platform.
No
And
kidding.
there's been a
Never heard of that.
fairly
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a fairly large exodus from Twitter to Blue Sky,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are complaining about the bots or like the wild discourse that's happening on Twitter. And we
Wow.
feel like my social media's brands at least are aligned a little bit more with the audiences that are on Blue Sky than the audiences that have stayed true to
Okay.
Twitter. So we're looking for we're still gonna post a
Ah,
little bit, but we're gonna really drive the Blue Sky needle. So check it out. It's
I'll have to do some research on Blue Sky because I feel completely clueless to this new platform. I thought I
that
was kind of very well connected to what's the latest trends in the hot social media platforms, but clearly I've missed a boat here.
no, it's like
Okay.
it's not huge yet, but I think it had 22
Yeah.
million followers for a while, and then it spiked to 1 million followers like in a 5-day span. It's kind of like
No kidding.
the
Okay.
accumulation of threads, but yeah.
I wanted to see before we sign off the NHL scoreboard. Yeah, Florida is losing 1-0. I like that. The Bruins, I believe, took the L tonight. Where's their final
Did
here?
they?
Oh, they sure did. That game got
Hey,
ugly.
Jets?
8-1. 8-1 to Winnipeg.
That's
I
crazy.
like that.
We do
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So now the Leafs are back to tied for first place in the Atlantic. And
Games in hand? No games in hand. No.
no, they played the
Florida
same
has?
amount as Florida, but they're up 3 on the Bruins, who have played 2 more than Toronto. So a decent cushion there. I like that.
Okay. You know what's crazy though is like we're just walking back into another back-to-back Saturday, Sunday, which I think is even more back-breaking than a Friday, Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
well, and the Sunday's 5 p.m. too. So
It's
that's
awful.
that's
Like at
tough.
least it's an away and away, right?
Away and home. They're in Detroit Saturday and then home here to Buffalo.
So, that's so bad.
Like,
So
and
they're
I get it.
basically
Schedule
are
makers
they-
will. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Like riddle that travel night out for us, travel morning.
Right. Yeah,
Ugh.
like I guess for schedule makers, they're like, well, not a big deal. You're in Detroit. It's whatever, hour flight or whatever, if that. So not a big deal.
Oh, it is a
But
big deal.
yeah, it's like quick turnaround. Like even if you do get back in Toronto at a reasonable time Saturday night, you're playing at 5 p.m. the next day. That's going to throw off your whole pre-game routine, skate.
And we got Buffalo Sunday night at 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know why they gave us 5 p.m.? Because the goddamn NFL and NHL know that that's when the blip in the NFL schedule is. They don't want to cannibalize. I don't know. Like that's basically we're gonna watch that as a bridge to Sunday night football.
Yeah, I mean, I it's probably part of the logic there. I mean, I think the NHL has long given up, like trying to, I mean, I get your point. It's like they're trying to avoid, but the NFL is all day Sunday. So you're not. Oh, and actually, the Bills game is, I believe, a 4:00. So, I mean,
okay.
if you're a
Well, then that's
Buffalo
fair.
Sabre fan and a
Yeah.
Bills fan, you're definitely watching the Bills game because they're playing the Detroit Lions, which is a pretty big game. But
That's a huge game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you would think that if they did want to schedule it to avoid conflicts, the game should have started at like 6.
6 or I don't know. I mean, I guess you
6:30,
can't really
7.
avoid it. If you have a game
hard to
scheduled
avoid,
on
but there is
Sunday,
a
you can't
gap.
avoid the NFL.
No, you can't. But
No,
that's
they
so
have games at
random.
1, 4, and 8. So there's really
had
no
a-
gap.
had
5
a
is probably,
Sunday
to your
night-
point, the best gap, I guess.
I get. We had a Sunday night a few weeks ago that was at 7, and I was like,
Yep.
"Oh God, this
Yep.
is late." But
Yeah.
then why are we doing this 5 o'clock after a travel night? Like that I will bet against Leafs money line. Like we're not probably recovering.
Yeah, that's not good. And they always they don't usually play well against Buffalo anyways. So
No, we don't.
that might be a game where you say, yeah, let me kind of find a way to do a win-win tonight. Maybe put
Yeah.
some money on the Sabres, and then either way I win.
Yeah.
Win something. Yeah.
No, I love the emotional hedge. I hate it,
So,
but I
I mean-
love it. It helps.
So the big question is, what does that do to Alex Nylander's pregame routine for a 5 p.m. game?
I think a nice bowl around 2 p.m., 3 p.m., like a late
A Chipotle bowl at 2 p.m.? Oof.
Chipotle
For
bowls go
5 p.m.?
They go any time of the day. Come on. It's a bowl.
I guess it
it's
depends
not a
on what you're
burrito.
going with it. But, I mean, Chipotle is kind of widely recognized as not the best thing to digest before you
That's fair. No,
play
it's
a
not.
game. Yeah,
It's not.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. Like if you're
But what
playing
other
a
are you gonna go
competitive
with?
hockey
What
game,
other food are you going to go with, really? What is easy to digest that's filling? Like, is that a
well, I
quick-
would think if you're a professional hockey player, you probably don't have to be very concerned about that. You just, pop into the Scotiabank Arena and head down to like the Platinum Lounge, and you're getting a meal that probably would fit the bill for keeping you somewhat light and not bloated.
like a protein-packed powder smoothie? Just like
Yeah.
8 scoops of protein? That'd probably
I mean,
be good. Small
I'm pretty sure these guys aren't as worried about their digestive system as maybe I would be. For me, I
No,
would just be
probably.
like, yeah, Chipotle before a hockey game? No, I'm good. No.
I
After,
would say
sure.
after, yeah. Big time
Yeah,
after.
big time. Yeah, because you get the protein replacement. I get that. But,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
anyways, we've
yeah,
probably
yeah.
gone a little bit off topic, a little bit.
A couple times there, I was like, shit, I need to drop
Yeah,
this.
a few kind of tangents, you might say, and I'm sure our viewers would be like, "What the hell is
Yeah.
going on here on Leafs
Yeah.
Unfiltered?" But that's kind of part of the appeal here.
It's a part of the process. Yeah, we find our way somewhere else to make it back to what counts.
Yeah,
That's
you're
when
not
you know
gonna.
it's good stuff when we're talking about things that are on
That's it. Yeah. You're not going to break down a hockey game where the Leafs had no business being in it and got 17 shots on goal for any more than you need to. Like they got the win, thank God. Pull one out of the fire, but
Thank
yeah.
God. I didn't want to go into media talks about 3 losses in a row. The sky's falling.
Yep.
We haven't
Yep.
had 3 losses in a row yet this year, so we don't know what they're going to say, but like I can
Right.
imagine what they would say. if
no,
we-
and it would have been the added layer of Sheldon Keefe, right?
oh yeah.
If
that's
you lose that game tonight, it's like, oh boy, like Sheldon Keefe is like the runaway, for coach of the year. Are the Leafs better without him, or should they have kept him?
Did
Now
you
we don't
notice
have to hear about that.
Did you notice the TSN panel? One of the approve or confirm or denies is Keefe gonna get the Jack Adams before Berube? Everyone denied it. I think everyone denied it, which
Except
is
for James. Except for James.
oh really?
yeah,
Well, he
He
needed to-
confirmed. Well, he confirmed because
needed
he said you
to.
need that contrarian.
yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
I
like
think
at this
that
point,
was-
I think it would be for me 50-50. If you
I
were
don't
saying
think
it
so.
was between those guys, you
I
think for
think
sure
so.
Berube?
I just think the Leafs have turned their style around a lot. I think it's noticeable to a Leafs fan. I think that time will tell in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Although the Jack Adams is awarded for regular season performance, so yeah.
Yeah, and
put
I
my
think
money on
there's
Berube.
also I think there's a a logic to Sheldon Keefe will get a lot of votes because New Jersey was not a playoff team last year. And now they're like second in their division. I think second overall in points in the conference. So you could make the argument that, wow,
I would say the lift
Keefe really turned them around.
I'd say the lift is about the exact same between New Jersey's last year and our last year to this year. Like we were third in the Atlantic. We're now call it first.
Yeah, but the Leafs were still
in the Metro. Now they're second. Like it's pretty much the same.
Wait,
but you're right.
Sorry, who was first in the Metro? You're talking about New Jersey?
No, New Jersey maybe was fourth or fifth last year in the Metro.
Yeah, they did make the playoffs, and now they're like, I think they might be second now or tight. Yeah, they're second now. Yeah.
I'm saying they moved up. Okay, so maybe they did make bigger gains.
Uh-huh.
They
were really bad last year. They were really bad.
Then the way you say it, maybe. I just think to a Leafs fan, you can see some really big, like noticeable differences in the way that the Leafs
for sure.
play a bit of
if Leafs fans are voting. Yeah, if Leafs fans are voting for Jack Adams, obviously we would say Berube right now.
So the Metro is a pile of garbage, right? Like, ugh.
Well, yeah, especially this year with how bad the Rangers are. Like, I don't get that one, but anyways, yeah. All right, I think we're wrapping up there, but this was definitely fun to catch up with you after a little bit of a hiatus between shows. So well done. Good
we'll do
chatting.
It again Thursday if you're available.
Yeah, Thursday against the Anaheim Ducks. We'll have to, I guess, see. Will Jacob Trouba be playing for Anaheim, or will he already be a Toronto Maple Leaf in the next 48 hours?
I would put my money on
Anaheim.
No, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm loving this. I'm loving the descent of the Rangers. I'm loving this. It's like a drama. It's like a soap opera that nobody really knows what's happening. Like most
and especially New York. I mean, I guess they're depending on who you cheer for in New York. Like if you're a Yankee fan and a Ranger fan, you're in tough. You've obviously about Juan Soto, right?
Yeah,
so if you're a Yankees and Ranger fan, you're in one right now. You're in one right now. It's not going well.
You're down bad, as Taylor Swift fans would say.
That's right.
Taylor Swift fans are also down bad with the Eras Tour ending, I must say.
Oh, is it? It's over now.
It ended. It's done. Yeah.
Oh, why? Where was Toronto the final leg?
No, Vancouver on Sunday was the final leg.
Okay.
So,
okay.
We're all everyone's.
We're just
floundering.
A wealth. We've been a fountain of great information tonight.
Yeah. No kidding. But everything except the Leafs.
Yeah, except an actual breakdown of the Leaf game or the Leaf players. But I think we did a little bit of that. I think we got a good mix tonight. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you thought so. I sort of think so. I think we should release. I think we should release our listeners though.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to chat.
All right, you got it, and thank you everyone for joining. We will definitely talk soon, and go Leafs, go, and we will talk Thursday. Have a good one.
Night.
Oh, Canada. Put on a suit, drink water. Don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.